Hello students, good afternoon. Hope you all have performed your exam very well. Okay. Today let's discuss about our today's examination paper and let's see how we can solve these questions a bit faster. I have intentionally given few tricky questions to test your aptitude and your learning ability skills. So hope you have enjoyed those questions. Let's see down the time how we can solve these questions faster on our fingertips. So today's lecture is about the test whatever you have attempted just few minutes before. Okay, it's the paper discussion on that. Now the first question in today's paper is we need to find the sum of these numbers. Okay, students, already in our first lecture I have discussed with you a method, okay, how to calculate the addition of two-digit numbers faster and orally. So let's look at that process. See, first we'll start with our first two-digit number, okay, that is 48. This is 48, and then what we'll do is we'll try to move by a distance such that whatever the unit digit of the second number, will move it by such a distance towards the right. When we are adding two numbers, we'll move by a distance of units digit of the second number, next number. So 48 plus 9, then we'll get 57. Because we are used to single digit additions, we'll use the same process when we have to add two digit numbers as well. So first 48 plus 9, that is 57, and then 57 plus 50, 57 plus 50, that is 107, 107 plus 4, 111, 111 plus 50, 111 plus 50, 161, 161 plus 8, 169, 169 plus 60, 169 plus 60, 229, 229 plus 7, 236, 236 plus 60, 296, 296 plus 7, 303, 303 plus 70 again, 373, and 373 plus 9, this is 382, 382 plus 80, 462, 462 plus 6, 468, 468 plus 90, that is 558, and then 558 plus 6, 564, 564 plus 50, 594, 564 plus 50, 614, 614 plus 4, 618, 618 plus 80, that is 698. The same thing here I have shown this in the straight line by addition. 48 plus 9, 57, 57 plus 50, 107, 107 plus 4, 111, 111 plus 50. Okay, units digit addition I have represented below the number line, and tens digit addition, okay, all the addition of tens I have represented on top of the number line. So like this we'll be getting 236 plus 60, 296, 296 plus 7, 303, 303 plus 70, that is 3, 373, 373 plus 9, this one, 373 plus 9, 382, 382 plus 80, okay, 382 plus 80, that is 462, and then 462 plus 6, 468, 468 plus 90, 468 plus 90, that is 558, 558 plus 6, 564, 564 plus 50, this is 614, 614 plus 614 plus 4. 614 plus 4. 614, this one, 4. 618, and then 618 plus 80, it is 698 finally. This answer we could arrive very fastly by doing orally. So even if you try to do the calculation using calculator on one side, and if you try to do orally, I am sure you will finish pretty faster than the calculator, because in calculator the data entry itself takes more time. So you need to do this question orally itself. Now let's look at the next question. Here we need to find the units digit in this product. Okay, here they have given some set of numbers and they have multiplied with each other, and here we need to find the units digit. Students, as I have already discussed you in one of our lecture, units digit of the product will rely or completely dependent on only on the units digit of the individual multiplicants. That is, units digit of the product will be same as the units digit whatever we get by multiplying the units digit of the individual numbers. So it is sufficient to calculate the units digits of these numbers. So how many? For 14 the units digit is 4, for 24 4, for 34 4, for 44 again it is 4, for 54 again it is 4, for 64 it is 4, for 74 it is 4, for 84 it is 4, for 94 again it is 4. So now we need to find this product and observe what is the units digit in this product. Now again there is some pattern. See, whenever we multiply 4 with 4, we get 16. But if we multiply 4 into 4 into 4, this is 16 into 4, 64. Now if we multiply it again by another 4, we will get 256. Students, if you will observe that whenever we multiply even number of 4s, the number ends in 6. The number ends in 6 here and here. Whenever we are multiplying by even number of 4s, 4 into 4 16, 4 into 4 into 4 256. So the units digit of the product would be 6. In case if we multiply odd number of 4s, the units digit would be 4. So this is the hint again here. So here in this product we are having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So 9, it is an odd number. So we are having odd number of 4s in O here. We are having odd number of 4s, right? Odd number of 4s. So we need to multiply odd number of times. So whenever we have to multiply 4s odd number of times, the answer would, the units digit of the product would end in 4. Okay, hope this is clear. Let's look at another question. Find the value of 104 into 105. Again students, this question, same thing I have discussed with you in the class, and also I have given this question in the assignment itself. So if you will observe, these numbers are pretty close to 100. So what we need to write is, first of all, we need to find this product, right? Whenever the numbers are pretty close to 100, we will try to write the differences from 100. 4 and this is plus 5. Okay. So in the product, the last 2 digits would be equivalent to the number whatever we get by multiplying these two. Is plus 4 into plus 5. What is that? 20. And to calculate the first leading digits, simply we will add these, the diagonal terms or the cross diagonal terms. Either you add 105 plus 4 or 104 plus 5. In either way, we will be ending up with the same result, that is 109. So what is the answer, students? 10920. Okay. Let's look at another question. Find the value of 97 into 103. We need to find 7 into 103. Students, again here, we have discussed one method called squares method for multiplication. See, 97, this is odd, this is odd. So whenever we are multiplying two odd numbers or two even numbers, one of the easiest method is squares method, which I have told you. So we can write this as 100 minus 3, and 103 we can write as 100 plus 3. So we can write this as, now using the identity a minus b into a plus b is equal to a square minus b square. Using this identity, we can write this as 100 square minus 3 square. But what is 100 square? That is 10,000 minus 9. So this will be equal to 9991. Okay. You can do this in different methods. So the main thing is to save your time in calculation. So always you need to hit at a method which gives you your right answer immediately within no time. So if you look at this question, by looking straightly at 97 into 103, immediately that idea of writing as a minus b into a plus b should click into your mind. So once we will write this is 100 square minus 3 square, and 100 square you could say it easily 10 power 4, that is 10,000 minus 9. So 9,991 would be the answer. So let's look at the next question. If the number ends in 4, which of the following would be its units digit of the square? Students, here again we have discussed properties of squares in our last lecture. Properties of squares. We have discussed one property. Always, see, if a number ends in 4, say for example, consider 4 square. 4 into 4. What is it? 16. What is the last digit? 6. Similarly, 14 square. 14 square means 14 into 14. As we have discussed, the units digit or the last digit would depend only on the last digits. So again, large digit will depend on 4 into 4. 4 into 4 would obviously result in 16. So it ends in 6 itself. So if you look at square of any number which ends in 4, okay, so its product or the square would always end in 6. Right, students? Hope this is clear. This is one of the property of square which we have discussed in our last lecture. So whenever the number ends in 4, its square would always ends in 6. Let's look at next question. Which of the following would be possible to be the digit of any perfect square? Again, this question is again based on the properties of square. As we have seen, what would be the last digits of any perfect square? First thing, say 1 square. 1 square means 1. 2 square is 4. 3 square, 9. 4 square, let's write only last digit. For 4 square, 6. That is 16, right? So it is 6. For 5 square, it is 5. For 6 square, 36. And for 7 square, it is 49, so last digit is 9. For 8 square 64, and for 9 square 81, and for 10 square zeros. So students, if you look at this, the last digit of any square, it is either 1 or 4 or 6, or if a number ends in 5, its square would end in 2 5, or if a number, again for 36 square, again 6, it is repeated. For 7 square 49, or 9. For 8 square 64, for 9 square 81. And if a number ends in 0, see, if there is 1 0, in the square we will be getting 2 zeros. Okay. So for every 1 0 in the number, we will be getting 2 zeros in the square. If it is 10 square, 100. 100 square, 10,000. So 2 zeros, 4 zeros in the square. 3 zeros, 6 zeros. So if you look at that, the number of, the number of zeros in the perfect square would be double the number of the zeros in the number. So, or we will be getting even number of zeros. Even number of zeros. Students, this property is very, very, very important. A perfect square always ends in either 1 or 4 or 6 or 2 5, that is 25, or 9, or even number of zeros. So with this help, I am sure you will be able to solve this question, right? So it cannot end in either 2, it cannot end in 3, it cannot end in 7, it cannot end in 8. So hope you understood this question. Let's look at next question. Which of the following relation is correct? See, in this, here we are given two numbers, 12 by 15 and 17 by 19. So we are asked to find the relation between them. So if you solve, we will be getting this relation. How to solve this? Again, the same example I have discussed in our lecture as well. So to find the relation between them, whether it is less than or equal to or greater than, what we need to is, first we will cross multiply. When we cross multiply, we will get on the one side 12 into 19 and on the other side 17 into 15. 12 into 19, if you solve this number, use any of the method, or simply you can write this as (17 into 15). We can write this as 16 plus 1 into 16 minus 1. So this is equal to 16 square minus 1 square. 16 square is 256 minus 1, 255. Students, whatever the relation is between these two numbers, after you cross multiply both sides by a positive number, the relation will still hold the same. So based on that, we will be trying to solve this question. So if we multiply by their denominators on both sides, here we will be getting 12 into 19 and here we will be getting 17 into 15. Okay. So 19 I have written as 20 minus 1. So 12 into 20 minus 12, this is 240 minus 12 and 228. And right hand side, if we look at this, we can write this as 16 plus 1 into 16 minus 1. Again using the identity, a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. 16 plus 1 into 16 minus 1 we can write as 16 square minus 1 square. So this will be equal to 256 minus 1, that is 255. So students, we can observe here clearly 228 is less than 255. So obviously this 12 by 15 is less than 17 by 19. So this is our answer. Okay. let's get back to next question. Which of the following is true? Which of the following is true? A perfect square can end with an odd number of zeros. Students, firstly, I have discussed when a number ends in 0, its perfect square also ends in 0. But a perfect square always ends in even number of zeros. If the number ends in 1 0, its perfect square ends in 2 zeros. If a number ends in 2 zeros, its perfect square will end in 4 zeros. So always the perfect square end in double the number of zeros as compared to the number of zeros in the given number. So basically, if you read this statement, a perfect square can end with an odd number of zeros. This statement is wrong. Now look at the second here. A perfect square can be a negative number. Do you think this negative number is possible for a perfect square? See, whenever we are saying a perfect square, 1 square, 4, or 0 square, 0, whatever it is, minus 1 into minus 1. See, minus into minus, it will become plus, and 1 into 1, 1. Students, if you will observe, for any square, for square of any real number, we observe that the number is always greater than or equal to 0, right? Perfect square of any real number, whatever we know till date, is always greater than or equal to 0. When does 0 occur? If the number is 0. If the number is not 0, the perfect square is always positive. Okay. 0 occurs only if the number is 0. So even if the number is negative, as we said, minus 1 into minus 1, even when the number is negative, the square would become positive. So students, in no case a perfect square can be a negative number. So even option B is also wrong. Right? Option A is wrong, option B is wrong, and option C, both A and B. Even option C is wrong. So we are left with option D. Okay. Let's look at the next question. When two two-digit numbers are multiplied, what could be the possible number of digits in its product? Okay. Now, student, say suppose let's consider any two-digit numbers like 10 and say 11. What would be its product? 110, right? Now, is there any other two-digit number which is less than any of these digits? Do you think so? These are the lowest two digits number, right? And how many digits we are getting in the product? 3. And also one more property we have discussed. When we multiply two numbers, how many digits would be there in the product means the maximum number of digits in the product. What we have to do, we will find the sum of the digits in this, number of the digits in the first multiplicand, and we will find the number of digits in the second multiplicand, find the number of digits. This symbol is we use for number of digits. Find the number of digits in the first multiplicand. Similarly, find the number of digits in the second multiplicand. So in the product, the maximum number of digits would be the sum of the number of digits of these multiplicands. So here 2 means, so maximum would be 4. Maximum would be 4, right? And maximum, see, product of two two-digit numbers, so maximum would be 99 into 99, right? This is the maximum case. 99 square, What is 99 square? We have learned some method, right? 99 square. We'll write 99 as 100 minus x. What is x? X is 1. So last two digits would be square of x, that is 0, 1. And first two digits, to find the first two digits, what we'll do? We'll subtract x from, x from 99, that is 99 minus x. So we'll get 9801. So 9801 is the square of 99. So this is the maximum number of product of any two digit numbers, right? 9801. So how many digits we are having? 4. And if we look at the minimum would be 10 into 10. So minimum digits would be 3. So minimum number of digits when we multiply two digit numbers are 10 into 10. We'll be getting 100, and so minimum number of digits are 3. And maximum number of digits would be 4, because this is the maximum possible product of any two digit numbers, 99 into 99. So hence our answer, when we multiply two digit numbers, what could be the possible number of digits in its product? Either it could be 3 or it could be 4. That depends on the individual multiplicants, whatever we are trying to multiply. So answer is both 3 and 4. Okay. Let's look at next question. Find the value of 99995 square. That is 99,995 square. Students, again we have discussed this twice, this property. Whenever the number ends in 5, first of all, the square ends in 25, and to find the leading digits, what we'll do is, we have to look at the leading digit of this number, whatever it is leading to 5. That is 999, 9,999, 999. So to find the leading digits in the perfect square, we'll just multiply the number next to this number, that is 10,000. We'll multiply the leading digit in the number with its next number, that is 10,000. So we will be getting 9999 ends with 4 zeros. So this will be the leading digit in the perfect square, 99990000. Okay, this is pretty simple. Hardly it has taken 1 minute to solve this question. Okay, don't get scared by the numbers. Please remember this property. Whenever the number ends in 5, its perfect square ends in 25. And the leading digits, how to calculate, just look at the leading digits of 5 in the number and multiply that with its next consecutive number, and whatever the product is, the same would be the leading digits in the perfect square. Okay. Let's look at next question. Again, find the value of, here some numbers are given and we need to find this. So how to do this? Again, orally we can do, or we can initially find even this. Initially we can find this sum, 56 plus 48 plus 18 plus 43. What is this? 56 plus 48. We can write this as 56 plus 8, 64, 64 plus 100, 40, that is 104, 104 plus 8, 112, 112 plus 10, 112 plus 10, that is 122, 122 plus 3, 125, 125 plus 40, 165. So this sum we would get as 165, and here we are having 260. So we need to subtract 165 from 260. Again use your straight line method. This is 165, and we need to reach a distance which is numbered at 260. This is our starting point. So how we would reach that point? So first match the units digit. So we need to move 5 units towards the right, and then match the tens digit. This is This is 170. Now from 170, try to match this tens digit. 7 and 6. So we need to move 90 units. So here we'll be getting 260. So total distance, what we have to move from 160 to 260 is 90 plus 5. So 95. So 95 is our answer. Okay, student. Now let's look at 12th question. We need to find the sum of these numbers up to, squares of 10 natural numbers. Students, again, in the last class, when we are trying to discuss the properties of squares, we have discussed a property, that is one sum of squares of n natural numbers is equal to n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. Okay. So here n is 10. So put n is equal to 10 in this formula. We will get 10 into 10 plus 1 into 2 into 10 plus 1 upon 6. So if you simplify this, 10 into 11 into 21 upon 6. So we will be getting 385. Okay, students. Let's look at next question. Again, this question we have discussed in one of our last lecture. Look at option A. Here they are asking which of the following is true regarding the fractions. First option. Here dr I am using as short notation for denominator. Dr I am using it for denominator. And nr I am using it for numerator. Now, as denominator increases, fraction value increases. Is it true? Let's look at one example. Say suppose, consider one example 2 by 1. Say let's increase the denominator by 1 keeping the numerator constant. Keep the numerator constant. Let's increase the denominator by 1. So what is happening to this value? 2 by 2, this is 1. So this value is decreasing, right? So whenever we are increasing the denominator is increasing, then what is happening to the value? Overall value is decreasing. But here fraction value increases. So this statement is wrong because the fraction value is decreasing. So this is wrong. Now look at second option. As numerator value decreases, here up arrow I am using for increasing and down arrow I am using for decreasing symbol. So as numerator decreases, fraction value increases. Is it true? Let's again look at another example. Say 2 by 1. Again similar example. Say let's decrease the numerator by 1. Keeping the denominator constant. If you will decrease this by 1, keeping the denominator constant, what are we getting? 1 by 1, this is 1. So what is happening to this value? Initially it is 2, finally it is 1. So what is happening to this value? This is decreasing, right? So the fraction value is decreasing. Whenever we are trying to reduce the numerator keeping the denominator constant, the fraction value reduces. But in this option it is given as fraction value increases. So this is wrong. So both A and B, again this is also wrong. So option D is the answer. Okay students. Let's look at next question. Again this is a pretty simple and oral question. Which of the following could be a perfect square? You need not solve anything. Just what are the properties of perfect square? We have already discussed. A perfect square always ends in either 1 or 4 or 25 or 6 or 9 or even number of zeros. If you look at the units digit of these numbers, these are very huge numbers. Even if you try to solve the numbers, I mean square root, okay, it takes so much of time. It takes your complete time of your exam duration. So it is advisable to look at the properties. See, here look at the units digit. This is 1. Units digit is 1. And here it is 2. Here it is 3. And here it is 7. And students, do you think 2 could be the units digit of the perfect square? This is not possible. Similarly, 3 also could never be a units digit of a perfect square. Similarly, 7 also is not possible. So, we are left with only 1. So, this could be possible. Okay, here could be a perfect square. Maybe if everything matches, then yeah, 1 is a possible units digit. Okay. So, option A could be the right answer, but B, C and D will never be the perfect square. Okay, students. So, this is a tricky question, just to find your instinct of recognizing that perfect square property, I mean the units digit. Okay. Let's look at the last question of this paper. Find the value of 96 square minus 32 square minus 64 square. Here, let's use one algebraic identity. A plus B whole square, A square plus B square plus 2AB. Students, the equivalent formation of this formula, see, say consider a square whose side is A. Okay, so this is a square whose side is A, and consider another square whose side is B. If we join these two at the tip, okay, if we join them over here, now they are forming a larger square whose side is A plus B. Okay, and this is a rectangle with one side as A and with another side as B. Again, this is a rectangle with one side as A and the side as B. So, if you look at the outer side, A, B, C, D is again a square whose side is A plus B. Okay, and if you look at the area of ABCD, that is side into side, side square, A plus B whole square. And this area we can say as sum of 1 plus 2, 3 plus 4. Area of the bigger square ABCD we can write as sum of the areas of 1, 2, 3, 4. But if we look at the area of region 1, that is a square whose side is A, so that is equal to A square. Area of square formula, side square. Again, if we look at the 4, this is also square whose side is B. And these are rectangles whose sides are A and B. So, this will be AB plus BA. Okay, students. So, this is the identity. Anyway, just remember this identity. Now, if you look at this, in this question, if A is 96, if A is 64 and B is 32, what is A plus B? 96. So, this is A plus B whole square minus A square minus B square. A plus B whole square minus B square minus A square. So, this would give us 2AB. Right. So, 2AB. 2AB means here we will get 2 into 32 into 64. 2 into 32, 64. So, we will get 64 square. 64 square. Use your trick, whatever you know to calculate this. So, we will be getting 4096 as the answer. Okay. So hope you have understood the discussion of these questions. I have tried to incorporate most of the concepts whatever we have discussed in our lectures on developing our calculations. Okay, in case if you find any shortcomings or if you think that some concept needs to be improved, please raise your doubts to the respective number, whichever WhatsApp number, whatever I have posted it over here. Okay, this is the institute's number. Please post your doubts without fail. Okay, students, thank you.